that was an interesting experience to just completely have your mind flipped about the city where you grew up in.
Is there already one song which will have a video, or were you?
Yes, Santa Fe is definitely going to have a video. We've been talking with a group of very interesting film students that make some extremely bizarre clips called Sunset Television. We've been kind of collaborating with them. We're going to film later this summer. I hope it's going to be kind of delightfully bizarre.
Maybe is it a song we can talk about a little bit, because we do these special items about one song and then we have a video also with it. But if you say this, well, have a video, because Santa Fe is your home place, hometown.
Yeah.
Can you tell me at what time did you decided to write a song? You've wrote songs to maybe more exotic places, and now your hometown.
Yeah, yeah.
Why now?
Well, so the funny thing is, as I was talking earlier about this kind of daydreaming, always looking outside yourself for influence. As a kid growing up in Santa Fe, there's always this sensation that maybe even though you were kind of born and raised there, that you almost don't belong. It is a very touristy town culturally. It's very kind of Hispanic and Native American, and so somewhere mashed in between all that was me growing up as a child. So there was always this confusion of, well, if I'm from here, how come I don't feel like it? How come I don't feel at home? And only recently, going back and visiting, have I kind of felt a warmer embrace from Santa Fe. And so it was actually on a trip. I started the song while visiting my parents, and it was around Christmas, and it just felt different all of a sudden. Like I saw Santa Fe in a completely new light for the first time, and I saw it for what it was and how charming it can be. And I remember thinking that was an interesting experience, to just completely have your mind flipped about the city where you grew up in. And the fact that it's a very interesting city. There's a lot of, obviously, what's the word? That's funny, I can't think of the word. But anyway.
But how long didn't you have been there before when you came to write a song?
How long was I there that one time, or?
No, how long weren't you there before you came back and felt this sensation you just described?
How many years? Well, I left when I was 17. I left Santa Fe when I was 17, so 23. You'll have to help me. I'm a high school dropout.
6 years, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay, but what was it? Can you remember what kind of day or time it was when the first thing that led to the song came to life?
Well, I was actually in my old bedroom when I wrote the organ line that starts the whole song, and the rest I took back to New York with me to finish off. But it was an interesting day. I visited the kind of teen center where all the local bands would play before you're of age to drink, and just received a bizarrely warm welcome there from the owners and the kids there, and yeah, and I went home and started making the song. But the lyrics are much more personal on that song. They're not so much, it's not so much an advertisement for the city, actually. That's kind of the joke of the chorus, is that it is such a touristy town. But the lyrics themselves are much more about my kind of personal escapades growing up in that city.
What did you want to get across in it?
Just that it's a struggle, you know, just something that maybe doesn't matter where you're from, but you could relate to it. Santa Fe, I mean, the funny thing is, Santa Fe, when you mention that to someone for the first time, where are you from? Oh, I'm from Santa Fe, New Mexico. Exotic ideas tend to pop up in their minds, and the truth is, there's a universal, you know, it is very unique and it is very interesting, but I wanted to, you know, catch on to some kind of universal feelings about growing up in any city, really.
Yeah, so could you maybe then conclude that no matter where you're from, for everybody in their own city maybe has this kind of emotions that you...
Oh, definitely. It's obvious to me now. Yeah.
Yeah, final question, you mentioned the album was the most personal one, lyric-wise maybe. Was that something you had to learn to do, to put personal...
It was foreign territory for me to talk about myself. I mean, that's the ironic thing.
What was the hardest thing for you to
well,
write about?
I've always wanted to keep my personal life as personal as possible, really. I thought that that would be the best defense for the way things were developing for me. I don't know. I mean, I had trouble writing lyrics. Well, I always have. But to be honest about how you felt about something, and then to hear yourself singing it back to yourself afterwards is kind of a rough experience, actually.
Have you, is it still now, or after this album, could you say that you've sort of learned to deal with that?
I think I've gotten a lot better at it, yeah. I mean, it's almost like an exercise. You eventually do get better at it, slowly, but you can. Yeah.
So the next album could be a diary.
Never that far.
Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.